What's going on, guys? It's Troy from What Gear Reviews, and this is the DREO TurboPoly Fan 765S. Now, I know what you're thinking. This just looks like a regular fan. What the hell am I doing reviewing it? But stick with me here because this particular fan is built differently and it has a world's first unexpected feature that you've probably never seen before. So the Turbo DREO PolyFan 756S is designed to be a tech-forward and efficient lifestyle smart device. And in this video, you will see exactly how DREO have achieved this. So first off, let's talk about the design. It's got a super clean aesthetic and it will look great whether it's in a living room or an office space, or in this case in a YouTube studio. Up front, it's got this really nice little heads-up display, which we don't see on a lot of fans. The blades inside have also been very thoughtfully designed. It's got a nice little carry handle up top, and it's also got capacitive buttons up top for when you lose the remote, and it does ship with this little holder for the remote control, which is very, very important, and you will see why. But what truly separates this fan from most fans out there right now is its adaptability, because it does in fact have a hybrid 2-in-1 form factor. It can take on the tabletop form factor, so if you want to use it on a desk, that is possible. And of course, it can take on a pedestal form factor too, which means it can adapt to pretty much any layout in any room. And if you do want to use it on a desk, all you need to do is hit this little silver button on the side of the pedestal. This ejects the top part of the fan. You can then click it on to the auto unfold tabletop stand, where it will sit 19.3 inches tall on the desk. And when you use it in this way, it's much more compact and far less of a trip hazard, as it won't be taking up any floor space at all, which could be ideal for busy workspace environments or anywhere where people might be walking past it. Now, on the other hand, if you want to place it in a corner of a room for max coverage and there's no table space available, you can of course use the pedestal. And the pedestal does allow you to extend the height of the fan from 39 inches up to 44. So you can make it look just right and get the perfect height for the airflow. And on that topic, this is exactly where that world's first feature comes into play. It allows you to take that precision and control to an entirely new level. And we will come back to that very shortly. So the first huge win for the TurboPoly Fan 765S is its versatility. Now, that's all well and good, but it wouldn't amount to much if the wind speed that it generates is nothing more than a faint breeze. But that is definitely not the case, because under the hood, it's pushing a massive 1,500 cubic feet per minute. That is an impressively high airflow and a very high output. And its blades, as I showed you before, have been designed to help accommodate this, and they assist to maximize the power. And DREO does claim that this can cool an entire room in around a minute. Now, I have tested this in various rooms around my house, and I must say I am impressed with how quickly it starts to take effect. DREO does claim that the wind speed that is created here can reach up to 120 feet with its 29 feet per second airspeed, and this will likely be when it's in its turbo mode. Now, one thing is for certain: it can move a lot of air around, and it does do it very, very quickly. And another great thing about this fan is when you're not running it in turbo mode and you're running it at a much lower speed, it is surprisingly silent. So silent, in fact, that DREO have gone out and trademarked the name Hyper Silent for this fan. They say it's as quiet as 20 decibels. But here's where things get kind of crazy. DREO have introduced what they call the world's first motion sync 3D airflow control, and it's built into the provided remote. So there is literally a gyroscope in this remote control, and all you need to do to use it is hold down the center button and tilt your wrist up or down, or twist the remote left or right, and the fan will follow it instantly. It almost feels like this thing is a kind of magic wand. So let's say you're lounging at a distance from the fan and the wind isn't quite hitting you how you want it to. All you need to do, hold your finger down and just make those minor adjustments with the remote. This is a brilliant feature in my opinion, and it's super convenient. Now, for those scenarios where you don't want the wind just traveling in one direction, you can make use of its 3D automatic oscillation mode. This covers 150 degrees horizontally and 100 degrees vertically. It can literally point right up at the ceiling and into the corners of your room. And because the fan is so powerful, if you have any cobwebs up there, it will get rid of those for you. And if you do place the fan right, it basically eliminates any blind spots and creates a much more comprehensive and smoother circulation around any room you place it in. And even if you live in a castle when your rooms are massive, and if you do, well then, send us some money. Okay, I'm joking. And check this out. Here is another use case for this fan. Let's say you already have an air conditioning unit, but the range of it isn't that good. You could actually place the fan near the air conditioning unit, and this will extend the reach of the air conditioning. And then on the flip side, if you do want to warm a room up, you could place it next to a radiator, and that will help disperse the heat. Now, here is where things get even more smart. On the software side, you get access to unique smart controls via the DREO app, where you could combine all of your DREO fans if you have more than one. You can set up rooms and add them to the rooms that they're placed in. And of course, you can link this to your Wi-Fi network. And right out of the box, it can connect to Amazon Alexa. It can also connect to Google Home and Apple Home. And Matter is also supported, which means you can set up routines and automations and use voice commands to switch it on and off and control its functionality without ever having to lift a finger. So if you wanted to, you could remotely cool a room down before you ever set foot in that room. So there's no fan that is absolutely perfect, but this one gets pretty close. And something you need to know about this if you do decide to buy one is that the motion sync feature has a little bit of a learning curve to it. You just have to get the hang of using the gyroscope to track your hand exactly how you want it. As long as you remember, you just need to make little movements like this and not actually move your entire arm to get it to react. And once you figure that out, it is extremely handy. And I do think it's a feature that you will love. And the power that this thing has is kind of incredible. Also, something worth noting about this fan is that because it has a massive 150 degrees horizontal twist and a vertical 100-degree sweep, you do need to make sure you give this enough space and enough clearance wherever you place it. For example, you wouldn't want to place this on a desk and then switch it on, and the next thing you know is spilt a drink over your keyboard. Also, if you're going to be using the pedestal, you've got to give it enough space so that it's not touching any walls or furniture when it's moving around. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And aside from that, it is incredibly easy to use. Even if you're not tech savvy, you've got the physical control, you've got the buttons on board. And if you are tech savvy, you've got those advanced controls where you can get really techie with the automations and routines if you want to. So yeah, overall, I do believe DREO have done a fantastic job of making this fan a breeze to use. So who's the DREO TurboPoly Fan 765S really built for? Well, if you're looking at cheaper fans right now without any smart features, yeah, you're going to be able to find a lot of very affordable fans out there. But there's a high probability that they're going to be extremely noisy, not well built, and maybe not that powerful. And sure, yeah, they'll do an okay job. But if you want a fan that has some serious power and is way more flexible across various spaces and various room sizes, there's not many out there right now that will hit the spot quite like the DREO Fan 765S. This thing is smart, it's powerful, it's well built, and it's quiet when you need it to be. And if you do get one, I think you'll pretty quickly start to appreciate the quality of this one. This literally might be one of the most over-engineered fans that I've ever taken a look at in a good way. The price on this one at the time of this video is around £170. However, if I can find a discount for you guys, I will leave that in the description box below this video, so it will definitely be worth checking that out. And if you guys are interested in a fan that might be better than air conditioning, well, definitely check out my DREO misting fan video. I had a look at 2 different models in that one, and those ones also have some pretty unique features. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a little thumbs up would be appreciated. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. And I will see you guys in the next one. Don't be late.